For number 10, they are giving you some information. You have your graph that looks something like this guy. And we know that the graph of the line has the points negative w, comma, 2w, and 2w, comma, negative w. It's asking you to find the slope of the graph when w does not equal 0. We need two things for this. We need the equation I have in purple, y equals mx plus b. That's just your equation of a line. And then we need to know the slope, right? So m in our equation of a line stands for slope. I know you know that, Relly. So m equals the change in y. So I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is a definition of our slope. So if I use the points that they gave us, I can calculate the slope. And if I start, I could label these. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So now I'm just kind of filling this in, right? So m equals negative w minus 2w divided by x2 is 2w minus x1 is w. Is negative w, right? Okay, so now I want to combine like terms. I have minus w minus 2 more w's. So in the top, I have minus 3w. In the bottom, 2w minus a negative gives me a positive. So I have positive 3w. Now my w's cancel out. So I'm left with negative 3 over 3. And you can do that in your calculator, or maybe you know that anything divided by itself is just 1, and we still have a negative sign. So we know from here that m equals negative 1. And actually the question is just asking for the slope, so we don't even need to deal with this purple equation at all. This is our slope. That's what we are looking for, so we are done with number 10. Okay? Number 9 wants you to find the equations that represent a line that passes through the point 11, comma, negative 15.5, and it should be parallel to the line y equals negative 2x minus 5. So a key word here is parallel. And what does it mean to have parallel lines? Parallel lines look like this, if I could draw straight lines. Those aren't terrible. So what do we know about these two lines? We know that they never intersect, and in order for them to never intersect, we need their slopes to be the same. Okay, so parallel lines have the same slope. If we look back at this equation, what is the slope of this line? Well, now maybe our equation from before comes in handy. I think you would tell me that the slope is your m, right? What is being multiplied by x? In this case, it's negative 2. So our original equation has a slope of negative 2. So we can rule out anything that doesn't have a slope of negative 2. And it kind of, sort of, maybe looks like these do. So problem number 1, negative 2 times x. Problem number 2, negative 2 times x. Y is all by itself. In number 3, this has negative 2x, but this 15.5 times y, we need to solve these equations or simplify them to where it's y equals something. In number 3, y is not by itself. Y has this 15.5 multiplied by it. We would have to divide everything by 15.5, so when we do that, we would not have the right slope. So number 3 cannot be right. Okay, so we can rule out number 3. The rest of them we kind of want to check. So let's look at number 1. If we plug in, I have too many highlights here. I'm sorry if this is driving you crazy. If we plug in our x and y values, so x is red and y is going to be blue. So we're going to plug in blue for y and red for x in all of these, okay? So let's see if I can do this here. Negative 15.5 minus 11, does that equal negative 2 times 11 minus 5? Does that equal negative 2 times 11 minus 5 is 6? Negative 15.5 minus 11 is going to be, you can put that in a calculator, it's going to be a kind of big negative number. On the left side, we're going to get negative 26.5. And so does that equal negative 2 times 6? Does that equal negative 12? No, it doesn't. So it's not number 1. Number 2, if we plug in 11 for x and 15.5 for y, right, just the numbers from before, we get 2 times 0, because 11 minus 11 is 0. Negative 2 times 0, this all cancels out. Does negative 15.5 equal negative 15.5? Yes, it does. So number 2 is a valid answer. We can do the same thing for number 4. Does 15.5 equal negative 2 times our 11 plus 6.5. So you could do all of this in the calculator. Negative 2 times 11 is negative 22. If we add to that 6.5, then we do indeed get back, keep leaving off my negative signs, negative 15.5. So 2 and 4 are our answers here.